It's just not getting any better. Anywho, we have 2 weeks to get Audrey's Rapunzel birthday dress together. I have no idea how it's going to open and close. It's got the corset number. I have not made a corset in many, many years. Then the skirt, it seems to be like one sort of panel in the front. So it's got the corset in the front, then it's got a solid panel in the front. Not sure how it's going to open and close. I'm not sure about a lot of things on this dress, but again, I've got 2 weeks. Her birthday is coming and I need to get this dress together. Let's go. So I've got some pictures off the Pinterest, and I'm looking at 2 animated ones, you know, like from the movie. Animated, yeah, not from real life. And then some non-animated ones from real life. My goodness, there's my whole thing. We are off to a good start. So let's talk about this. It's got a corset, and by both the animated and non-animated photos, it looks like the corset is a separate piece. It doesn't look like this is technically a dress, which is going to make the whole opening and closing thing easier because the corset opens and closes in the front. And then the skirt, though, on both things, and this real life, to the best of my knowledge, is from Disney themselves. So it seems credible. And both skirts, though, they're just solid in the front. There's no opening in the front, so that solves that issue. The other thing, and this is a little bit different, right? In the animated one, it looks like it's just sort of one, the skirt is just like one, I don't know, plain, I don't know what you want to call it, one piece of fabric. Technically, it's like joined. What am I trying to say? It looks like it's pieces of fabric that have been joined. Like the center panel is different than the sides, but they've all been sewn together to make one cohesive skirt. Meanwhile, in the real life version, it looks like there's a big inverted box pleat in the middle for that panel, and I kind of like that. It gives it some movement and some like flow, and so I think I might do the inverted box pleat route. There's lots of unknowns for this ensemble. Maybe it's not a dress, but ensemble. And we are going to have to just walk them through together. So I will take you along, explain as best I can what's going on in my mind. And yeah, hopefully it will turn out to be a fun dress for her birthday that's in 2 weeks. Grabbing all these goodies for this fun project, check out these pieces. Lots of interesting bits going on into this fun make. We've got 4 different fabrics, ribbon, several trims, covered buttons, gold bias fabric. I am really excited about it. And I'm referring to those photos I got off the Pinterest and trying to figure out where to begin. If you find yourself in situations where you want to do something, but you're not sure how to start, my best advice is to just start. I'm thinking it's best to get this corset together first, so I take that fabric, it's this purple silk taffeta number, and give it a good pressing, and add some interfacing to the mix. I already had this pattern. It's kind of a teenage size, but I'm hoping I can size it down to fit Audrey's kiddo frame. I'm thinking it's close enough, and I'm just hoping I'm not getting myself into a hot mess in a hurry. So cutting out those bodice pieces to make the corset, I'm working from one selvage edge of my fabric, like one selvage edge, I just said that, folding it over just enough to fit each piece. This saves a ton on fabric, just makes the best use of that square footage. And I continue that process until all of my pieces are ready to be joined together. Alright, so it is about a week since I left off. Don't really remember where I left off in the video, but we've had the family party at this point, and I need this dress ready for her friend birthday party. Life happens, doesn't it? Especially with 4 little ones, 2 businesses. I'm sure you can relate, but the important thing is to come back to things quickly, before any dust starts to accumulate and the project gets pushed to the back burner. So I'm joining those corset pieces together of the garment as fabric as well as the lining fabric. I figured introducing a lining to this number would be beneficial for many reasons. Sure, it'll look better, but it'll also give some options down the road. At least, I think so. I hope so. We'll see. Alright, so I got my pieces together. I got my lining and my bodice. And I've got to figure out a little strap for me. Because there's like this little side strap swoop number. So, got to do that next. So I think I'm just gonna kind of make this work because I'm not working off of a pattern or anything else. So I'm just going to pin this to my dress form and hope that I am in some sort of ballpark. This is going to fold under, and I am intentionally left more than I needed right here. That was the thought at least. So if I pin the seams where the seam should go, hopefully they go where they're supposed to go. So if we have a side seam on the side of the body, and we have the princess seam at the chest, which it pretty much is, we can fold under the excess, and then hopefully we wrap this around. We've got a side seam. Hey, look at that! We got a side seam where a side seam should be. Oh man, this is dangerous. Don't tell anybody. And then the princess seam, kind of what? Wait, hold on. That's not the side seam. Let's take a look. Oh. That is the back seam. JK. So we're gonna have to cut that so that the side seam is where the side seams should go. Alright, so I need to take out. See, I knew that was just too much, right? Like, couldn't get that lucky not working with the pattern. So I need to undo this seam and then take in the back so that, yeah, so then it's like this. Really, you know what I could do? I could just introduce a back seam. We could do that. That would be more simple. Let's do that. Would that look terrible? All right. Be right back. All right, so round 2. Let's see how we did. We got our new back seam, snazzy. Put that somewhere there. We've got a side seam at a side seam, and another side seam at a side seam-ish. So now we can fold under our excess, our intended excess, in the center front, and the other side, the intended excess in the center front, and we will line that up at a later date. But for now, we've got to do these straps. So we've got more fabric. I'm looking at this picture, and it's kind of a swoopy number. Okay. We can do. Let's just cut it oversized. How's it go? It sort of swoops in, and then you sort of want it like this. Swoops in, and then it swoops back out. Something like that. So it's got to rinse and repeat on the other side. Isn't that cute? I joined the other strap to this bodice corset number, and then things are starting to come together, kinda taking shape. Although the bottom is too long, which was to be expected since this is a teenage-sized corset, and well, Audrey is not a teenager, and if someone could convince her of that, I would much appreciate it. So I trim off the excess, and then I need to secure the bottom of those seams since I just cut off all of those little back tacking bits. Now I can join the lining together, pinning that raw edge down in preparation for the piping. I'm changing my presser foot since I'm about to start making some piping out of this beautiful silk dupignone in this lovely golden color. After adding that piping to the top and bottom of the corset bodice, then I turned the thing right sides out and gave it a really good pressing. It is starting to come together. Now onto those sleeves. So I'm going to be making this up as I go along, but I'm thinking I'll use this lilac color and that silk taffeta for the top part of the sleeves, and then this lavender shade of organza for the long sleeve portion, like the rest of the sleeve. And to do this sleeve combo, I am just turning under the raw edge of the short sleeve and placing it right on top of the long sleeve. Simple. For those strip details on the sleeve, I'm going to use this gold ribbon and top stitch it in place. To finish all of that off, I take this beaded trim. How pretty, right? And that's going to be the edge of the top of the sleeve. The edge of the top of the sleeve. Yeah, that makes sense, right? With all the beadwork, I'm just hand sewing it into place. With the sleeve complete, now I'm joining the sleeve together via a French seam, which allows us to address the wrist area. For now, I'm just going to put elastic in this spot, and I'm using the elastic to gather up the wrist, and I will finish that off later. So after putting in 2 rows of gathering stitches, I join the sleeve to the bodice, and we are kind of getting into the make it work territory. It happens, and that's okay. It's a commonplace with costumes, especially since you're not likely to be working with a complete pattern in costume land. There's a panel in the front of her bodice, and I'm just going to use the chiffon fabric to accomplish that. Did I say chiffon or organza? Is it organza or chiffon? Oh, this was a year ago. I don't know. But I'm just folding that in half, sewing along, and voila. Now our bodice is more or less complete. At least it's ready for us to move on to working with the skirt. Once again, not exactly sure the direction I'm going to take with the skirt, but it begins with showing up and trying to put the puzzle pieces together. So how does that work? Well, check out this photo. There's piping along the front panel, so that seems like a good place to start. And once the piping is in place, now we can join the side panels to create one big front panel, 2 side front panels, and then the center front, like that center front panel. I mean, if our bobbin will cooperate, yes, one big front panel. Then we can join the back panel, which is just one piece of that darker purple fabric, to the front skirt, and we've got our skirt ready for the bodice. Just sewing from one front side to the other. Now those final pieces of the puzzle, and this is really fun, getting to put those finishing touches onto the dress, like this sweet trim around the neckline, those grommets so we can do that whole corset number with this gold ribbon, and those covered buttons. How sweet is this child doing the Rapunzel vibe off for her birthday? Love these fairy tale vibes? Check out her fairy tale dress featuring sleeves inspired by none other than Dior. It was a fun make and so inspiring, so go check it out. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. And as always, I appreciate y'all for watching and I hope to catch y'all next time.